What's up, guys? How's it going? It is Matt here. So we're going to be telling you a little bit of a story today. So we're going to do a little story. It's called The Sheepdog, and the Wolves. Sound familiar? Anyways, no, it's not a story, but I'm gonna do a little bit of talking about the difference between a sheepdog, and a wolf, and some stuff I've been kind of seeing, and it almost kind of makes me laugh a little bit when I see it. So I was gonna throw it out there. So it's like this, I live in a very diverse apartment complex, very diverse apartment complex, and there's a lot of foreigners actually from India and stuff like that. There's actually some people, some Muslims that are over here too, and there's also people from India over here. Literally sometimes when I go outside in the apartment, I feel like I'm in a third world country, and it kind of drives me crazy. But anyways, I'm going to talk about, we have a lot of sheep that live around in this area, a lot of sheep, a lot of sheep that live over here. So all of our kids, we get on the bus, down the bus stop. It's like down a little bit from an apartment complex. And all of our cars, it's a busy road. It's kind of a busy road. All of our cars line up on the side of the road because like today it was like 32 degrees outside and our kids are out there. So we're all lining up on a road just waiting for the bus to come so we can get our kids on the bus and stuff like that. For the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of fighting a little bit of a battle with some of these Indian people that are out here. And basically what it is they literally treat it like it's a New York City block or wherever it is, to the point where they're bumper to bumper, literally like with inches of your bumper. They will back up your car like with little inches of your bumper, and it's not cool, all right? Because this is a busy road, and you have a lot of young kids and young adults driving up and down this road on their phone. You see them swerving, and multiple times you see them almost hit our vehicles. Now, we all have our kids out there too. A lot of the kids are playing around the bus stop. They're playing around by the cars and stuff like that too. And we got some old kind of crappy power lines that are standing there. So one of my biggest pet peeves is when you're sitting there and they pull up literally within inches of your bumper. The first thing I do is I usually at a place where no one parks behind me, because if they park behind me, they're actually at the bus stop. Literally when they get within inches of my bumper, I back up. And I put myself at least 6 feet away from the vehicle. And it's been going on and on to a point where I've almost gotten a little fed up with it. And a couple of parents that were doing it, I came out one day, I'm like, look, I know that you want to park close when you get the cars too. I'm like, but you don't need to park right on my bumper. I'm like, this is a very bad situation. Now, there's a little bit of a language barrier. I said, what happens if a car comes behind us and hits these cars and our kids are playing over here by the cars? I've also told them, like, and keep in mind, this road, there's a lot of people that aren't paying attention to the road and they almost hit us while we're parked here. So what happens if one of those cars hits one of our vehicles? All the vehicles will crash together and make a big problem. And I've also said, look at these power lines. They are literally about to fall down. Like, literally, they do not look good. So if they start seeing a high wind or something like that and they start falling down, don't you want to be able to get out in time before the power lines fall on your vehicle? And they're like, oh yeah. They're saying that thing. But then the next day they do it again and again and again. So it's been kind of one of those things that just, oh man. So I finally got to work with one parent that actually does it. He actually keeps a distance from my vehicle. So he actually keeps a good at least 6 feet away from my vehicle. But what's funny is all of his Indian friends that drop all they're all from India. There's like a big company from India that puts all their their employees up here. But they all do, all the Indian people, then they all go bumper to bumper to that car, right in front of him, bumper to bumper, literally, I'm talking like that far between the cars. I'm not joking, literally like that far between the cars. And I'm just like, really? Bunch of sheep, that's all I see, it's just a bunch of sheep. They are completely oblivious to the world around them and they don't really care. They're just doing what the next person does just because that's what the other person does. Now there's sheep, there's sheepdogs, and there's wolves. So we'll start with the wolves. Wolves are bad people, all right? Wolves are bad people. They're looking for an easy meal ticket, all right? They're looking to do some harm, all right? The wolves are bad. They're looking to do some harm. Then there's the sheepdogs. The sheepdog protect the sheep. While the sheep are doing their own little thing and frolicking around and not paying attention to anything going around them, the sheepdogs keep an eye out for the wolves, make sure nothing happens. And then, once again, the sheep. They literally do nothing and they do the exact same thing that everyone else does, and they pile up and they bundle up and they don't pay attention and they frolic around and not pay attention to the world while the sheepdogs keep the wolves at bay. Or while the wolves are always trying to get in and take out the sheep. They are oblivious. So we're going to talk about sheepdogs and wolves. What are you? Are you a sheep? Are you a sheepdog? Or are you a wolf? Now me, I like to consider myself a sheepdog. All right, I keep an eye on threats. I keep an eye on external threats. I may want to make sure our kids are safe. I'm a dad of 3 kids. I want to make sure my kids are safe. a lot of these people that from foreign countries and stuff like that, they don't come up with the same values that we do. So they don't have the same values that American people have. So they really don't care about local customs in the first place. They really don't care about American customs. They like to keep their own customs that are in there. But more importantly is they just are literally oblivious to the world around them. Like, for example, today it's 32 degrees out. Literally this morning it was 32 degrees out. Yesterday it was 37 degrees out. The day before that was 34 degrees out in the morning. They're wandering around out there, several of them in shorts and sandals. Shorts and sandals when it's 32 degree weather with frost all over the ground. And I'm kind of looking at it like, you do realize that it's really cold and you're wearing sandals, but it doesn't faze them. And one person does it, so the next person does it, and then the next person does it. Now I understand they have like customs and stuff like that, but there's some of the Indians, I'm not saying all of them, that then they're walking around with insulated shoes right now, and pants and jeans and sweatshirts. And they're the ones actually been in the country a lot longer. And it makes sense to bundle up when it gets cold out, but for some reason these guys, they all kind of flock together and do the same thing, and they don't pay attention to their actual surroundings. What's that? Oh, more shows? I'll come out and turn more shows on, okay? What's that?
It's M&M's.
We don't have any more M&M's.
Why?
Because we don't. That's why.
Why?
Oh, he wants to say hi to the camera. Hold on. You want to say hi to the camera? Arr! There you are, mister.
I'm going to do a video.
Oh, okay. You're doing a video? Anyway, I had to pause it there for a second and put more shows on for the little one. But it's like this. When you are living your life, are you going to be the dude that does exactly what everyone else does, or a dudette that does exactly what everyone else does, eyeing on their cell phone and walking into a telephone pole, or eyeing on their cell phone or stepping onto a subway tracks? Are you going to just do what everyone else does just because everyone else is doing it? Or are you going to actually pay attention to what's going on and be like, okay, I'm not a sheep, I'm not going to be dumb like you guys? Now, another example, there's this video that went viral a while back. It was a liberal experience. A liberal experiment about everyone being sheep. Everyone are sheep, I don't care what you say. So there's like this waiting room, and this girl walks into a waiting room, and this thing was whole set up. She sits down, everyone's sitting there in the waiting room, then she stands up, then she sits down, then she stands up, then she sits down, then she stands up, and then you see someone next to her looking at her like, oh, okay, so they stand up, and they sit down, and they stand up, and then the other people are saying, oh, I guess this is what they're... So before you know it, the entire shop is standing up and sitting down, and standing up and sitting down, and there's like two dudes in the back that are looking at her like, what the heck is going on? Where this entire place is literally, everyone's like looking at each other, up, down. It's ridiculous. Don't be a dumb sheep. Sheep get eaten by the wolves. Pay attention to your surroundings, make your own damn choices, and don't follow the flock, all right? Be a little bit differently. The same thing goes with the gun community. How many people, you said, I did it in my video the other day. I said, there's all this 9mm stuff, 9mm ammo out there, but why would I prefer 45? One, because I'm not like them. I make my own choices. I take a look at what's going on, and I use my mind to kind of figure it out, and I take my personal experience from the ammunition that I've used in the past, and that personal experience tells me that bigger bores hits harder and does more damage. That's why I carry the bigger bores most of the time. So, but a lot of people won't do that, because what they'll do is they'll go to like YouTube channels and stuff like that, and they'll be sheep. And they'll follow the other sheep, and they'll do exactly what the other sheep are doing, because that's what the sheep are doing, and that's how the sheep do it, and they just do everything that everyone else does. Don't be a sheep, all right? Be a free thinker. Be a sheepdog, all right? Don't be a wolf. If you're a wolf, then the sheepdog are going to have to eat you alive. Don't be a wolves. So, but I just want to throw out there, because it's one of those videos that I'm just like, oh my God. You know, it's like an everyday struggle that I'm constantly dealing with. But with my neighborhood and everything, it's just like an everyday struggle with what's been going on. I'm literally surrounded by sheep. Even when they're talking, they're sheep. Even when they're talking, they're sheepish. You know, I'll be at the bus stop, or at night too, is like when you're walking around at night, is the groups of the Indian adults, they kind of get together and they get in these little circles. And I know there's different cultures and stuff like that. I'm not trying to make fun of cultures, but they literally get into like circles and they start talking. And one starts talking and is just talking normal like this. Then the person next to them starts talking and start doing this weird thing with their head when they talk, blah, 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 blah. Then the next person that starts talking, blah, 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 blah. And then the next person starts talking, blah, 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 blah. The next person starts talking, blah, 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 blah. The next person, blah, blah, blah. The next person, blah, 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 blah. And it's like in a circle of bobbleheads going, blah, 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 talking. And you're like, how are they not getting dizzy when they're talking right now? Stop being sheep. Stop! I'm literally surrounded by sheep, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only sheepdog in the entire apartment complex. Now, there's one other person that does. He walks around, and he has a big old dog. They're from Texas, go figure. He's got a big pile of knives that he always carries, and like throwing knives. And he's actually pretty good. I've seen him throw them at the trees. He's actually pretty good at it, too. You know, he goes his own way. He does his own different thing. He's a little bit different than other people. But literally, my entire apartment complex is sheep. They do exactly what everyone else is doing just because everyone else is doing it. Don't be a sheep, please. All right, this is America. We're not sheep. America's supposed to be sheepdogs. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about me, and remember, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other. Peace.